I think that the main theme of my work, if you were to look across the entire thing, is exile. For me, exile is the opposite of immigration, right? To be an immigrant, what you do is you uproot yourself, go somewhere else, lay down roots, and reinvent yourself. I'm generalizing, but that's kind of what you do. Exile is you are forced to flee your homeland or expelled from your homeland. You never planned to leave. You arrive in the new land with a very, very clear goal to never set down roots. So you just kind of got these dangling roots. And you don't want to reinvent yourself, you simply want to go back. You want to return to your homeland. So your relationship to the land is very, very different when you are an exile. If you were to look at my whole body of work, I would say that that's kind of what it has in common. Any experience is good. Any experience is good. Any experience is good. I repeated the mantra to myself like a Hail Mary. Juan had given it to me on our last day in Lima. Life is so much bigger than we are, comrade. Always remember that we're here for a greater cause. The struggle begun by Simón Bolívar a century ago is ongoing, and we are here only to add our grain of sand for the liberation of our continent. Within this context, any experience is good. This knowledge got me through my years of exile, confronting a solitude I hadn't experienced even in jail. Remember, little comrade, any experience is good. So we had to set up a safe house for resistance members going in and out of Chile, doing border work. And then we also had to learn how to fly small planes in order to fly them into Chile illegally, of course, through the Andes Mountains, evading radar, in order to take in goods and people. And then we ourselves had to go into Chile as often as possible, legally and illegally by land. I also want you to take the risk of failing today, because without the risk of failure, there is no possibility of success. In my books, art may be meant to serve, but more importantly, it's meant to disturb. And that's where you come in, by taking a risk. Without disruption, there is no progress. Art is not meant to please. The reader is a partner on an adventure, not a consumer. What I usually do in the workshop is I try to get very technical, right? So that they can actually walk away with some skills, some actual writing skills. So I make them write. I do a Theater of the Oppressed exercise, which is, Theater of the Oppressed came out of Brazil. It was, created by a revolutionary leftist man called Augusto Boal. I had the great fortune of studying with him in Brazil and here in the United States. And I've been a Theater of the Oppressed practitioner for 30 plus years. And then I just get really technical with the students, like, okay, theme, plot, structure, really, really technical, so that it's not just, oh, I'm puking my guts out onto a piece of paper and that's writing. No, that's you generating content. Now how do we shape it, right? How do we make it mean something? How do we make it do what you want to make it do to the reader? I think that there's a real misconception in the world of the arts in general, That is to say, no, let me get super specific. With acting and writing, so none of us would go and watch The Nutcracker and go, oh yeah, I can just get up on that stage and do that. None of us would go and watch a symphony and go, oh yeah, I can just go and pick up that violin and do that. We all know that those people have spent years training, hours a day, every day. We don't think that when we watch actors and writers. For some reason, we just think, oh yeah, that's just natural, and they just stood up there and did that. So that's one of the hurdles, that's one of the things I try to lay down immediately when I teach a workshop, is there's nothing accidental about this, there's nothing raw about this. It's a craft, and here are some of the things that all writers have to do when they're actually writing something for consumption, right? It's not your journal. It's for consumption. It's for an audience. So you are entering into a conversation with an audience or with a reader as opposed to with yourself. That's the big difference. It has to be cathartic for the audience or for the reader. If it happens to be cathartic for you as well, that's great, that's wonderful. But if it's just you having some major catharsis, that's therapy, that's journal writing. It always has to be about a catharsis for the audience. The challenge for me is how to create leftist artwork with characters that are very complicated and also very relatable to people who are not leftists. And one of the ways that I do that is humor, and using a lot of pop culture references that everybody can go, oh my God, yes, I remember that song, or I remember that fashion, or yeah, I know that TV show. Those are the kinds of things that I do. I'm always excited about the future. I think if you're not excited about the future, then capitalism has won over you. So you have to be excited about the future, and you are an agent of change as opposed to just a subject, and with no agency, just lying there and rolling around, wherever the wind takes you. I see all of us as agents of change.